We're live, fam. Hey, what is going on, bruv? We're back with another set of, I'm sure, unpopular opinions, blood. That's what we're known for these days,
Straight
fam.
up.
I'm telling.
Straight up, unpopular opinions, you know. not saying what everyone else wants to say, just for the sake of
or what everyone else wants to hear, either, blood.
exactly.
Nah,
There's too much of that going around these days,
bruv. Way too much, bruv. Like just pandering to just nonsense, bruv. Like I'm not really on it, bruv. Everyone's been giving me bare feedback from the Flex and Rant show and that, bruv. I nearly erupted on the last episode, fam.
Is it?
Yeah, bro. I nearly erupted, man, because it's like a lot of people don't understand football, bruv. Like, and Andre Gray come out the other day and he said that 95% of football fans don't understand football. And honestly, I feel like it's more than that.
100%.
It's more like 99%, bro. Like the 1% that actually understand the game, yeah, but don't really have a voice per se, bruv. There's bare man out there just chatting crap, bruv. And the thing is, the mainstream media narrative, yeah, becomes what everyone else starts chatting. You get bare man talking about players that they've never seen played, like they've seen them play because they heard a pundit say something. Do you know what I mean?
Right. What did someone say in particular that caused that?
No, you know what happened? Wayne Rooney's come out saying that LVG is the best coach that he's worked under, yeah, and he learned the most under him in the 2 years that he was there, which is completely understandable because LVG is a proper coach, bro. Like when you look at LVG, yeah, his legacy, bro, the Ajax team that he coached, yeah, most of these men are legends in football now, bro. Do you know what I mean? These are legends. So the guy's rap sheet speaks for itself. Like there hasn't been a coach in the game since post him, apart from probably Pep Guardiola, in terms of who he's brought through, who he's birthed. When you look at the Xavis and all of them, man, that came through under Pep, yeah. When you look at the Van der Sars, the Overmars, and all them, man, that team that come through under LVG at Ajax, bro, it's a similar kind of thing that we're looking at. The Ajax team is comparable to the Barcelona team. Do you know what I'm saying? Like these men are iconic coaches, bro. It's not just managing. Certain people can't understand the difference between managers and coaches, innit?
Big difference.
So when man are saying, what do you mean? You worked under Sir Alex Ferguson. And under Sir Alex Ferguson, he had many different coaches because Sir Alex Ferguson wasn't the main coach at Manchester United at any period of time, bro. He always had a number 2.
100%. His number 2 was important all the way through his career, man.
Well, there you go. And these men are going on, yeah?
Like, don't get Alex Ferguson would have done a lot of mad decisions without like a Brian Kidd or flipping even McLaren in his time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like with football, it's all about balance. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of football fans don't understand that. And you can see that when you're talking about who's better or you're talking about who's greater and you're looking at teams or players, their instant reaction is just, all right, who can do more tricks and flicks? Who's better at scoring more goals? They just look at the base stats. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't look beyond that. Like who's behind them? Do you know what I'm saying? And who's actually running that machine that's bringing them to what they're doing? People don't think like that. And that's it. People don't analyze the game. And like I said, you know what? I thought it was just football fans, but over the last week, obviously there was that whole. Of course, I know NBA is massively trending at the moment because of Michael Jordan. But since then, I've been looking at how even NBA fans break down who's better in terms of ballers. And again, it's just people just run numbers. That's it. They run numbers. If they haven't viewed the person, you can tell they ain't watched nothing. They ain't even spent the time to look on YouTube and type in highlights. They're just looking at the numbers on Wikipedia or
make up their mind.
And make up their mind. Yeah. That's what they do.
Bro, that's it. It's jarring. And the thing is, it's funny, even in basketball, you get a lot of good basketball players that American fans just troll them. And you know what it is? I think it's a tribal thing as well. It's not even about if you're good. If you play for a certain team, they just don't like you, innit? And I think that's where that comes from as well, But in England, it's a joke, bro. Some of the things that people actually say. Do you know what I mean? In terms of football, who they compare. Like even certain players that get compared, they've got no business comparing. They've got no business comparing them because they don't play the same position. They don't play the same way. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, how can you compare a coach like Louis van Gaal to a coach like Jose Mourinho? Like, who the hell, has Jose Mourinho nurtured and brought through and made, bruv. Like in his whole career, what has Jose done? Jose's been known as the guy that buys players and wins trophies. Who is he nurtured? Do you know what I mean? Who is he nurtured, bro? So how are you comparing the Jose Mourinho to a LVG, bro? Like they're not even in the same lane of management.
No, you can't. You can't. 100%. And this is me, who's obviously a fan of Jose Mourinho, but not in the same comparison in terms of coaching and the ability of bringing. And like I said, it's one of them ones. It's a bit like a tail of the tape. It's like Mourinho is better at certain things that LVG's not. Do you know what I'm saying? But when you talk about coaching and birthing and improving players, LVG was one of the best. And that's why I always said, I said this about Man United when people was cussing when Mourinho just got sacked. And I was saying, let's not forget that we had LVG as well. Like somehow Man United have got this wrong where we've had two, I say two, but especially LVG, we've had one of the best managers of this generation. Man United. And we still somehow he still somehow could not get anything out of the club. Do you know what I'm saying? That was a testament of how bad some of the players were at that time, and obviously the back end of the football club, which was a absolute joke. Do you know what I'm saying,
bruv? Like it's a joke, bro. Like Van Gaal, when you look at what he's done, like bruv, man, forget, that even man bust like Dennis Bergkamp. Like man don't remember that. Like Van der Sar, the Bergkamps, all these man that man are looking up to now, your Seedorfs and these man, where the hell would they be without this man?
Do you know what though? Talking about birthing and man management, one thing I would say I'm surprised about LVG, still to this day, and I don't know the full story in it, is his relationship with Van Persie. I can't believe that ended sour. Like, I know it didn't technically end sour, but somehow it seemed like LVG and Van Persie had a massive problem. And to be honest, I don't understand. I can't believe that, because when I saw it on paper, I was like, this is a match made perfect. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what it was, with LVG, and what like a lot of coaches like that. It's not the player, it's the system, innit? Like Van Persie didn't fit the system he wanted to play with Manchester United. The system that Van Persie played in for Holland was a different system. Van Gaal had better players up here playing for Holland. He only had one Daily Blind at Manchester United. For Holland, he had 11. Do you know what I mean? And when you've got 11 man with a football brain like that, you can play a certain system. Like Holland would change to go to the three at the back and that. Man ain't seen man go play a three at the back in the tournament and get to the semis before like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like LVG, he had no right to get to the semi-finals with that Dutch team. They weren't that good on paper. Man had that De Vrij, what's the other centre back, the black brother?
What's his name?
He was meant to get bare moves and then he ended up not going nowhere. Like I can't remember, but
I remember his name.
They had De Vrij, they had like best like no name Brez, bro. Like Ron Vlaar and them man, like bro, like he got to the semi-finals of the World Cup with them man,
playing good football as well.
Playing good football as well. And then you've got these ignorant idiots that want to turn around and say, right, LVG's football's boring and this, that, and the other, bro. When you watch the Bundesliga, bro, man can't tell me that the Dortmund game weren't boring, It was no less boring than the Man United matches. The only difference is they had quality in the final third to just put man away, bro. If LVG had creative midfielders like Pogba and Bruno with all the possession we had, we'd be putting 8 past teams, bro. Because we never had no one in the midfield that could slice open a defense with a pass, bro. We didn't. We had Marouane Fellaini, who he played Fellaini as a number 10, which is his best position, and he done all his damage under at Everton in that position. And also, man had Ander Herrera and Morgan Schneiderlin and them man in midfield. Imagine if you had Bruno and Pogba in there.
And then obviously the problem is Depay at the time, I don't think his head was straight. Or
it wasn't. I thought he was where he is now at that time.
Yeah.
He wasn't. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. But you know what? That whole thing it's funny because I even see a couple of months ago when the whole debate was about who's been Man United's best manager post Alex Ferguson, innit? And I remember some people even ranking David Moyes ahead of LVG, saying David Moyes' win record and all this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But again, when you look at, if you remember watching David Moyes when you were there, the style of football, it had no, it was almost like we were just, we had one track, we had one way of playing constant, whether win, lose, draw, whether we're trying to find a goal, whether we're trying to defend, David Moyes didn't know what he was doing. You can see a big difference between David Moyes and LVG. Do you know what I'm saying? But again, in years to come, when people look at just stats, people say David Moyes was good at Man United. He wasn't too bad.
Yeah, like Gary Neville was saying, yo, we should have given man more time, bro. That's nonsense, bro. He didn't know what he's doing. Out of all the coaches that we've had, LVG is the only one, that I could look at and say, you know what? From what man's doing on the pitch week in, week out, I know what they're doing in training because it worked. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't go have 60% possession at Anfield, bruv, if you don't know what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Like, we were clapping teams up, bro. The difference is we didn't have the cutting edge in the final third, but you can change that by adding quality in the final third. You could change that.
Then he got forced out of the club before he could implement it properly, innit?
But this is it. And just because it didn't work out, I don't know why man are going on like man was a complete failure, because man managed to finish in the top 6 and win the FA Cup playing not even championship players, because all them little youths that LVG was giving debuts, he was giving out a debut a week, and now none of them ain't playing in the Prem. So that shows what he was doing with below average players, bro. If man think the players now aren't good enough, these other man, like your Paddy McNairs and all these man that ain't even playing in the championship, what are these man doing now? The Tyler Blackett's and do you know what I mean? Them man, where are they now?
I think Paddy McNair's in League One or something.
Well, there you go. Yeah. And the Borthwick Jacksons and these of these worlds, bro. He was birthing and playing, and these man were actually putting in solid performances in the Premier League. But man are disrespecting LVG, bruv. And then man are talking about Mourinho because Mourinho won this and won that, bro. That's not the same as being a great coach, bro. It's not.
No, it's not. It's two different things, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. And bro, no man with only a base level understanding of the game can ever compare LVG to flipping to Jose Mourinho. Where's Jose Mourinho's Dennis Bergkamp? Where's his Mark Overmars? Where's his Edgar Davids? You don't have one. Do you know what I'm saying? What's he ever nurtured, bro? Do you know what I'm saying, bro?
What he's done well is that he's managed to extend the almost like the life of players that were probably past their peak. That's probably more his strength, isn't it? It's like he's better at making a player that's probably about to go into the championship or about to go down 2 or 3 levels to somehow keep them at that certain level for a couple more years. Whether it's because he plays them in a role that is more restrictive, so they've got less to do, maybe. But that is his strength. He's more better at older players, but he's not birthed. I can't think of any player he's birthed. Like,
I can't think of one player that he's brought through, from a youth team, cultivated, and these men are going to be XYZ.
I still think Jose Mourinho's legacy, because a lot of people talk about the Chelsea situation. Obviously, that team that was pretty much you know, I swear, I don't think that defense, because that defense probably didn't even concede a goal for about, I think, something stupid like 12 games or something. They didn't concede a goal or something.
Yeah, but out of that team, what defenders did he buy? Who did he buy?
No, he inherited 100%.
He inherited a very good team from Claudio Ranieri.
100%.
I think he only bought Didier Drogba.
Yeah. Didier Drogba. When you think of Jose Mourinho, that's
and Paulo Ferreira he brought in as well.
That's his biggest signing, Drogba. That was it. That was the biggest one he's made. Do you know what I'm saying? But where I give him the most credit, where I always give him the most credit for Jose Mourinho is what he done with Porto. Do you know what I'm saying? His back-to-back European UEFA Cup and Champions League. Before then, to do that even with Man United or a big club like United would be nuts. But to do that with Porto, that's where I gave the respect. But obviously, that's where he already got his confidence from, innit? So back in like 03, 04, he was already gassed because he was like, man done this with Porto. You know what I'm saying? That was where it came from. And from there, it rolled with it. Because a lot of people say that the Inter treble was his biggest success. But do you know what I'm saying? I think what he done with Porto, do you know what I'm saying? That was it. But I have to say that Inter thing, I think it was the semi-finals against Bayern Munich or something. He done a job on them still. He done a job.
But he stays doing jobs, innit? And there's a place for that in football, innit? But don't you dare compare him to Louis van Gaal, bro.
No, 100%.
Disgrace, blood. Do you know what I mean? The only coaches you can compare to Van Gaal are Pep Guardiola right now, bruv. That's it. And he's a disciple of the same thing anyway.
Mm.
That's the only coach comparable to him. So when Rooney's coming out talking about coaches, he's saying, yeah, that boom, Van Gaal showed me a thing. Even Ryan Giggs came out and said, yo, Van Gaal brought some stuff into the club that no one had ever seen, bro. If everyone's saying it and these men have played under Alex Ferguson, then it must be true. You know what I mean? So I don't need
because people got upset about the people. So that's what I'm saying. This is where people mix respect with facts, innit? Because people get upset about stuff like that. Like, how dare you, Giggs and Rooney, say anyone but Fergie when he's the one who birthed you, he's the one who made you what you are. How
you
dare
want all these things with him?
Do you know what I'm saying? That's it. Because look, if you compare, like I said, look, obviously everyone knows how I feel about Alex Ferguson, Sir Alex Ferguson, even, yeah, the greatest, yeah. But even if you compare what people say about him in comparison to what people say who's been trained under Wenger, yeah, anyone who's had Wenger as their manager, do you know what I'm saying? Like their opinion of him, sky high, always number one, best trainer, best blah blah blah. With Fergie, he was the best manager, 100%. But on other factors, do you know what I'm saying? He's not. He clearly wasn't.
Yeah. But this is it. But people don't want to have this conversation, and they think that it's disrespectful to what he's won, yeah, to state truths. Even when you listen to how people spoke about Sir Alex Ferguson, yeah, and how they speak about Van Gaal, how they speak about Mourinho, how they speak about Pep Guardiola, bro. Like, I've never heard anyone say how much they've learned from Sir Alex Ferguson. Never. Never. I'm going to be real with you, black. Yeah. Ronaldo was like, oh, he was like a dad to me. He did that and the other. He never said, oh, he taught me everything, because he didn't learn nothing really from man. He just let him express himself. Sir Alex Ferguson's team talks were, yo, lads, it's Tottenham. like, bruv, like, what do you learn from him?
Heads.
Man said, go out there and just smash Tottenham up, bruv. Like, that was man's team talk. It wasn't, man, mark this guy. If this guy goes here, you go here. It was go out there and just run these man over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Amazing manager, amazing man manager. Sometimes we beat teams, yeah, that we had no business beating because he just knew how to get an extra 20-30% out of man. That's a 100%. Different factor in managing a team, bro. But coaching, like shape, drills, formations, tactics, that's a different thing, bro. He wasn't better than Carlo Ancelotti at that. He wasn't better at a lot of other managers of that era at that. Do you know what I mean? Fabio Capello was another one. Rooney's played under Capello. Do you know what I mean? He's not just played under Sir Alex Ferguson. He's played under some flipping, I think Sven as well. Was Rooney in the Sven era? I think he might have been towards the end of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's played under international managers.
But that's the thing with Fergie, though. He wasn't as dynamic in like tactics, like you said. Like most of the time, Man United just played the same way. Do you know what I'm saying? That's it. Like because
we're better than you, we beat you.
Yeah, that's it. We'll just roll you over one after the other. You know what I'm saying? That's it. There weren't a time that we had to suddenly shift or play a certain way because of only once or twice a year. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're playing a prime Arsenal, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Away from home. But most of the time, you just play the same. That's it. Sooner or later, Scholes is going to get the ball and shoot.
Yeah. You know that's it. Sooner or later, he's going to go out to Beckham and he's going to whip it in.
Sooner or later, it's going to happen. That's it.
That's it. Gary Neville comes on the overlap. Beckham fakes to give it to him and then whips it in early, blood.
Brother, for the kids watching, trust me, watching Man United back then, yeah, you just knew what was going to happen, but no one could do anything about it. No one could do anything about it. That was the maddest thing.
That's it. It was like Beckham's going to cross it early. Giggs is going to run with it. Scholes is going to bang it. Like, you just knew what everyone was going to do, and you couldn't stop, man, because we were too good.
Exactly.
That's all it was, bro. Very little of it was tactical. Very little of it was tactical, bro. It was just outwork the team and just keep applying pressure until they fall apart. That's what we did. When LBG came in, he tried a thing with a 4-3-3. He saw it wasn't working, and he switched to a 3 at the back and this, that, and the other. He tried different things, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Ferguson didn't do that. It was a 4-4-2 up until when Queiroz came. Then it turned into a 4-3-3 thing with the Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez thing. And then when Queiroz left, the football changed again, bro. Every time we had a different number 2, the style of football changed. The team changed. Everything changed, bro. Like, Ferguson was very much about, it depended on who Ferguson's number 2 was, what kind of football we played.
100%. That tells you everything, though. You know
well, there you go. Man don't understand football, so they don't know that. So me and Flex had a big, like, You get me? And then he was like, yeah, but Jose won. I said, fuck Jose, fuck you, fuck everyone. Blood. Mark got involved. I told Mark to fuck off as well, but I wasn't having it, blood. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, nah, bro. Like, don't tell man about coaches, bro. Like, coaches and managers are not the same thing. You can't tell me that Harry Redknapp was a great coach, but he was a great manager. You knew how to get fucking extra 20% out of shit players like Jamie O'Hara and that. Do you know what I'm saying? 100%. But he weren't no tactician. Do you know what I mean? He's like, get the ball up to Benjani. You know what I mean? Just get up 100%. To Benjani, mate. Get up to it.
That's why you can tell the divide of a good manager and a good coach, even who's in the Premier League today. Now, do you know what I'm saying? And that's why it's sad that the best coach, the players the managers that are great coaches, they may never get a chance at managing a big club. But a lot of them,
Eddie Howe's and them, man.
Yeah, man. Like, do you know what I'm saying? With what Eddie Howe, what Nuno, Eddie Howe, what
Nuno's cold. Nuno can manage
their team.
No, bro. You could manage Man United now.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, like Eddie Howe, like they were talking about Eddie Howe for the Arsenal job, and then Arteta gets it. Do you know what I mean? Ahead of him, Eddie Howe deserves a top 4 shot, bro. Because I believe, yeah, look what Brendan Rodgers is doing with Leicester now. Yeah, look what he done with Liverpool. There needs to be more opportunities for managers like that.
That's what I'm saying. People forget. Out of all the teams that have come up in my lifetime, yeah, Bournemouth was the team that came up that people laughed at. I remember they were a laughing stock. People thought they were going to get the lowest points total ever. Do you know what I'm saying? There was some tiny club that people were like, how are Bournemouth getting in the Premier League? Do you know what I'm saying? Bro, man stabilized them, kept them in the Premier League.
Playing good football.
And playing good football.
He didn't have them on no Allardyce shut up shop bully boy tactics. He had these men playing 2-touch football, blood.
100%. And let's not get twisted. It's not like they've been like a team that's survived relegation on the final day every year and that. Bro, some of these are mid-table finishes. They've been, you know what I'm saying?
And Bournemouth were known for beaches, fam.
Bro. And then when they came, yeah, trust me, when people came, I remember when they came to the Premier League, it was like, we just want to play Bournemouth to slap them 5-6-0. You know what I'm saying? With their 10,000 people stadium and that. That's what you thought. You know what I'm saying?
It's true, blood. Man used to call that the Legoland Stadium, bruv. I never took them seriously, fam. Straight. And them man are up here now. Do you know what I'm saying? And they're up here comfortable.
Who else do you think overperforming though?
I don't think that I think that Sheffield United are definitely overperforming. However, again, brilliant manager. Brilliant manager. And he looks like Jack the Lad Cockney as anything. And he's a bad boy manager, bro. Bad boy. Imagine if he had real ballers, because these men play a British style physical football, but they bop it too.
Yeah.
You know them as they bop it when they need to bop it. They don't play the typical traditional 4-4-2 English long ball. They actually try play, but they'll stick it on you physically as well. Do you know what I'm saying? They're a proper team, bro.
I respect them for having. I respect him for keeping. See, bro, it's been so long that. What's his name? What's his name again? Up front, that doesn't. He's only scored like 1 goal all season, but because he does such a job in their team, they keep him there. Do you understand what I'm saying? They keep him there because their system is all that matters. Do you know what I'm saying? Chris Wilder, the way he plays. His system, someone's probably gonna shout out what their name is, but
look in the comment section, bro. We've got over 200 people watching. All right, big up you lot. Make sure you smash the like as well. Smash the like on the video, guys. What's that Sheffield United
striker? Let me get his name, bro. This brother scored like 2 goals all season, innit? Like, no disrespect, but no one gets onto him in the team. None of the fans do because of the job.
Was it McGoldrick?
That's it, McGoldrick. Yeah,
McGoldrick.
Yeah, that was close enough. Yeah, exactly. Bro, the job that he does in that team, essential. Do you know what I'm saying? Essential. Just like the overlapping centre backs that people laughed at the start of the season. Do you know what I'm saying? And now it's a problem because their tactic, no one knows even how to combat it properly. Yep. And imagine if they had players that were 20-30% better than they are now. Yep. Bro, you'll get blown over by Sheffield United. That's just how you know a club is overperforming because you look at their squad and you're like, bro, they've just got a lot of okay players.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's how you know who the good managers and the good coaches are, because good coaches, have their teams overperforming. Shit coaches have their teams underperforming. Do you know what I mean? So man can't tell me, yeah, that looking at LVG with the Blackets and these man, yeah, that he was underperforming with the players he had, bro. Man finished top 6 with man that are playing League One now.
You know what? Do you know what? It's hard, you know, for when you're managing a big club like Man United as well, and you're bringing through players. Yeah, everyone expects these players to be potential world class. That's the difficult thing, because when Tyler Blackett came in and these man, a lot of these men who come through, like Pereira, like I said from the first day he came in, yeah, bro, they're not that good. A lot of these players are not that good, but because they're a Man United birth, they've been birthed through Man United's academy, or they've been in the Man United under 18s and they've come through. You instantly think they need to be. They must be. Yeah. So the typical football fan, the general football fan, just think this is a new Rashford, or this is a new Scholes. This is a new. A lot of these
like, bro, I think he's whack, but bear man rate him. I think this guy's useless, bro. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like they always expect that. So what I'm saying is, what LVG done with these man, bro? How can you be turning up to places like Anfield and playing like fucking Borthwick Jackson and them, man? Bro, you have to respect that. Do you know what I mean? You have to respect that. That's why you have to respect what Wilder's doing with them kind of ballers. That's why when I'm looking at this Man United team and I'm looking at the points on the board, yeah, man for man, Ollie's going to finish with less points than David Moyes finished, regardless of what happens. You can't tell me that Ollie's not underperforming, yeah, with the players he's got at his disposal, bro. 100%. You can't tell me that, because the points speak for themselves, bro.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? There's men that are on the bench for Manchester United now, yeah, that are better than what we had on the pitch. You know what I mean? In certain times, bro.
But that's it. That's it. The club, when you look at the starting 11, you look at the whole 16 even, yeah? Man United as a team, we shouldn't be scrapping around where we're scrapping. That's it. That's the longest.
At very least, we should be comfortably in the top 4. You know, 100%. When Arsenal used to finish in the top 4 every season quite comfortably. At very least, that's where we should be with the squad that we have.
100%. But that's why it even annoys me, yeah, when I even talk to Arsenal fans and they say, man for man, our team's as good as yours. I'm like, no, it's not. That team is not as good as ours. Man United should, do you know what I'm saying? The levels are completely different. But because we're underperforming like Arsenal are, we can't talk. But the truth is, man for man, obviously Arsenal's got certain players that are better than any of our players, 100%. But man for man, if you look at the 16, the players on the pitch and the bench, Man United team far better.
Yeah, far better. Do
you know what I'm saying?
It's not even a conversation, bro.
That's it. It's not
even a conversation. Man for man, yeah. The only players in their whole squad, yeah, that get anywhere near our team would have to be their attacking players. When you look at Aubameyang, do you know what I mean? When you look at our midfield, yeah, your Xhakas and all them man ain't getting nowhere near our Pogba, fucking
and Ceballos.
You see what I mean? Then you look at the back line, bro. Harry Maguire, fucking, them man ain't getting nowhere near us, bro. Like
Bellerin ain't getting in the team. Do you know what I'm saying?
Bro, no one. Your keeper's not getting in the team. None of them. One man in your whole squad's getting in. And maybe fucking Pepe will get in ahead of Dan James, yeah? That's about it, because Dan James is whack, bro.
Yeah.
So what? You've got 2 men that might get into our start. Well, not even in our starting 11, because Aubameyang will just have to play out wide.
Daniel James is the hold run button in FIFA, innit? That's it.
This is it, bro. And then it will end up being a Rashford, Martial, Aubameyang thing anyway, bro. So either way, only one player in your whole squad gets into our starting 11 right now. Do you know what I mean? But we're actually in the same conversation for the same spot.
Yeah.
So that means managers underperforming.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, bro. So bro, that
big up to Leicester as well, who's overperforming as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
But when you've got a good coach, you will overperform.
100%.
You know what I mean? And when you don't have a good coach, you will underperform, bro. Right now, do you know what I mean? You could argue that, it's not you could argue. Liverpool are overperforming massively. That's why they are where they are. Man City are doing what they're supposed to be doing. When you look at like the XG and stuff like that, it shows that Liverpool are overperforming and they're probably 20 points ahead of where they really should be.
100%. City's form this season still good enough to be in a title race. And
good enough to win the league.
Yeah.
But Liverpool are massively overperforming, and the data actually shows that. There's data to actually show that Liverpool were winning games that they deserved to lose, and they were winning games that they should have drawn. Do you know what I'm saying? Just on pure XG and on actual numbers and data. But Liverpool are playing above where they really are now. And that's what
that's the whole factor, and that's it. And it's the same with the chasing pack after behind Liverpool and Man City. Massive underperformance. Tottenham, Chelsea, Man United, all of them. Like, that's why instead of just when I'm looking at when people say, "Oh, okay, well, you weren't going to win the league this year anyway because it's between Liverpool and City even before the season started." Yeah, I get that, but Man United should be just like Chelsea and Tottenham. They should be closer, and the problem is that like the gap should not be anywhere near what it is now. Do you know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't have been back in even back in January before Man United's good run. Do you know what I'm saying? Same goes for it now, but it is what it is. Obviously, this coronavirus now has given, I think, any chance of Ollie leaving in the summer is left now. Obviously, he's staying now. So now he's going to get... This is perfect for him, innit? In the sense of he's secured his job. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's probably going to be here for another 2 years, I would say. Do you know what I'm saying? So Man United's got to get used to it, innit? That's it. Just got to get used to Ollie ball. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bruv. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. And yeah, we got flipping more stuff to do with the Rona as well, bruv. Obviously, Troy's had his say. Danny Rose had his say. Do you know what I mean? And I think they said like 3 out of the 6 people that tested positive for the corona were from Watford or something like that.
Okay, I didn't know.
And yeah, and I think that the Watford players, a few extra players, have now decided that they weren't going back to training. So obviously Troy hasn't gone back, but quite a few other lads haven't gone back as well. And it's interesting. We did say that, like this thing is not going to be very straightforward. Do you know what I mean? Troy has come out saying that his little one had breathing difficulties and stuff like that when he was born. And I think he's got like a very, very young child, innit? And he's like, bro, I'm not risking that.
2 years old or something.
Yeah, I'm not risking it. You know what I mean? And fair play. And I just feel like we're getting in very dangerous territory right now where it's like, it's obviously morally, they shouldn't be going back. Do you know what I mean? Danny Rose is like, we're not lab rats. You can't just be flipping using this thing as a tester on us. And I don't know, it's a difficult situation now because they're not doing it the way that we thought they were going to do it with quarantining the players at a base. They're still allowing them to go home and then come back and stuff like that. So
what's your when you saw the Troy Deeney thing, like what's your opinion of it overall? Do you think, because obviously the way I see it, like I get it, innit? And at the end of the day, no one, like regardless of the job that they do, like whether it's a construction worker, nurse or a footballer, no one should be forced to go back to work if they don't feel comfortable. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the virus is still out there. It's not as if it's almost done. Do you know what I'm saying? I think even today, 320 people died or 340 people died in the UK.
I didn't even know that. I'm not keeping up.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's gone down to city numbers like 10 people a day. Do you know what I'm saying? In that sense, in relative sense. So it's still a threat. So I don't think no one should be forced to go back to work. Yeah. So if Troy Deeney or Danny Rose doesn't want to go back, fine. I think that's fair enough. And they should be able to stay at home until they feel it's safe to do so. However, like we were saying last week, I think some players will decline staying at home. I think if they had the opportunity to come back and play football, whether it's selfish or not, they would. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think that's where the problem is going to be, because I don't think Troy Deeney kicking off or not, or even those 3 extra players kicking off or not, bro, at the end of the day, the other players are probably going to be saying, I'm happy to train. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm happy to come back. Because if they had a big problem, there'll be more people, more than 3 or 4 footballers that have come out of the thousands of footballers in the Premier League that will come out and have a problem. Yeah. And currently it's only 3 or 4. Do you know what I mean? So I think most footballers are happy to go back. Do you know what I mean?
Saying that, I don't know. I think a lot of footballers just don't have the balls to say anything, bro. Do you know what I mean?
They ain't got the kahunas.
They don't have it, bro. Because there's a lot of footballers that will definitely feel the same way, but haven't said nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's certain prominent figures, big personalities like Danny Rose, that's always been vocal. like Troy, that's always been vocal. Do you know what I mean? It's always the players that have always been vocal coming out, bro. And that doesn't mean that there's no issues, bro. It just means that a lot of they're worried about saving face, bro. They're worried about their brand, and they're worried about how things could be perceived more than anything else. That's what I think it is. I think a lot of people, like, it's very hard in this day and age. A lot of people don't stand for anything. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we are talking about. Like, even with the Michael Jordan thing, it's like, cool, you can have a platform and that, but a lot of are more worried about how they look and how they come across, and potentially losing money by doing or saying things that might be off-brand, quote unquote. Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's what it is.
But then isn't it like when you look at the whole situation and you think there's a lot of players who want to say something but they won't, obviously, because they don't want to affect their brand? Is it a thing where, like, that they're coming to? So you're thinking that basically they're playing because almost like they have to, or they don't want to break.
Of course,
break a message.
Absolutely, bro. Of course, they want to play football. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, they're normal human beings, bro. A lot of them, the guys that we're talking about are around our age, bro. 100%. Do you know what I'm saying? Early 30s, got families. Do you know what I mean? Got responsibilities. And a lot of these men are thinking about, my wife, my daughter, my son. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah.
That's what they're thinking about. They're not 18 years old. Like, the majority of the Premier League, there's very little. The percentage of teenagers, or early 20-year-olds, in football teams, bro. Like, anyone that's played football knows that the majority of the team are seniors, bro. Do you know what I mean? They're 25 and above. So literally, the majority of these football teams have families. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, not everyone's Jadon Sancho, not everyone's Marcus Rashford, not everyone's Mason Greenwood, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? The Brunos of this world, all of these men have got kids, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me
that there's a high chance that some of these people, especially the ones in their 30s, they may have had underlying health conditions, even if they are athletes and footballers, or they live with someone or are closely around someone who has got that. Do you know what I mean? End of the day, imagine some of these people, let's say that they could be living with their mum, for example. Do you know what I mean? And end of the day, they're not going to risk it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying with that. I guess that leads me then, what's your thoughts then on all of these players then violating, some of the players violating
bro, as I said, and I'll keep saying, these men are around our age. They're normal people, blood. Like, when they're seeing everyone else out and about, and even when you're seeing police officers, today I was cycling, and like, the feds are out, they haven't social distanced, they're still arresting people, they're still violating social distancing, they're still pulling cars over. Like, bruv, they could be carrying, you know them, man. So certain people are just living their own life, doing what they want to do, and then you're thinking, yo, I've been locked in my house for 8 weeks, but I just want to go out and check a girl, blood, or I want to go get a haircut, or I want to go and do... Bro, it's understandable. These people are human beings at the end of the day. Like, I can't expect these people to stay in the whole time. I stayed in my yard pretty much for 7 weeks, without going out, and I nearly went mad. And now I've been cycling about 20 to 30 miles every day. I've been out my house every single day, bro, because I just need to get outside. So I understand why these men are going out, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do get it. Like, not everyone's staying in. If everyone was staying in, then I could understand. But, bro, like, they're not. Do you know what I mean? You saw pictures of yesterday, like, down at the beach and that, bro. They bare people out.
100%.
So why would you?
Again, I think this is a problem with not even a problem, but this is an almost like an attribute of people in this country, innit? And even the people who are not English. Like, I feel the way that we see it, and I was always thinking about this when I first saw this Rona breakout a couple of months ago. I was like, I hope that this will have died down before the summer, because all banter aside, the way the British people are, whether it's footballers, whether wherever you're from, is they look outside and think, you know what? No, I'm going outside I'm going outside to check some, like I said, check some girl, check my friends, or even get a haircut. Do you know what I'm saying? And for the man that's even not footballers, a lot of them are just like, you know what, this is cider weather. I'm getting the beers.
But it is cider weather, and I haven't had one. I'm pissed.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the way some people are. Do you know what I'm saying? And some people are just wired like that, and they're wired to the point that they'll probably happily risk it. They don't, do you know what I'm saying? They're like, they need to live their life. That's part of their lifestyle. Just going out and drinking or going outside and experiencing the sun when they're out there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Fam, and but this is it. Like,
if this was winter,
forget, that they're normal people, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not bothered about them, like, going out. Like, I'm not bothered about that. Do you know what I mean? The only thing that bothered me, was the Grealish thing, because clearly man was drink driving. You know them one. Clearly, like, you don't have accidents like that just by accident. It was too booky, innit? Something was 100%. Untoward. But 100%. Other than that, like, when flipping Mason Mount and Declan Rice went out to play football and have a kickabout in the twos, and people were getting onto them, bruv, they didn't violate any rules anyway, bruv. Because technically, if there's only two of them, you didn't know that these men weren't living together. They could have been social distancing. They could have been quarantining together. You don't know.
100%.
So technically, they didn't break the rules.
Yeah, but you know the problem is that it's like your again, some of these footballers are role models by default. Yeah, that's the problem. And it's like, these men don't want to be role models. Not all of them want to be role. They just kick ball. They're talented at it. They get paid at it, and then they move. They live their life. Do you know what I mean? And that's why when some of these footballers just do things that an average person's doing on a day-to-day basis is just blown up for no reason. Because I
can't criticize them for it.
Yeah, and the truth is like, they're just the same as everyone else. Do you know what I mean? There's no difference between them. But what the problem is because you and because these people and the media has put them on a pedestal, it means every small thing is like, how could they do that? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? It's no different. It's no different. Everyone else is doing it. That's what, and that's the part of my problem. Like, it's the same way, like I said last week, I don't have a problem with footballers having that opinion and even staying at home and all of that. No issue. But the same way they're treated should be the same way everyone else is treated, in the sense that stop putting them on a pedestal. Do you know what I'm saying? Allow them to do what they're doing. If they don't want to go to work, they're not going to work. And if the club wants to deal with them in a certain way, or they need to do whatever, deal with it, move on. Stop talking about it. Stop putting it in the front page of a newspaper. No one cares. Do you know what I'm saying?
But why do people care? But this is the most annoying thing about it. It's like, it's mad, because I feel like athletes in this country in general just aren't allowed to have a personality. They're not allowed to have an opinion. They're not allowed to do nothing, bro.
And then the funniest part of it is, in every single time a footballer does something mad, inside the little tweet or the caption, it's always about how much they earn per week. £140,000 a week player, Danny, bro.
But that's what I mean, because these men, like, they resent the fact that these men make this money, you know what I mean? And it comes from the snobbery, and it comes from the class system that this country's built upon. This country's built upon social class. It always has been, bro, from the royal family all the way down, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's always been built on social class. So because a lot of these guys are the first people in their families to have money, and they come from a certain place and a certain upbringing, that's what these men are going to lean on. It's like Dele Alli, like, whatever, how much a week, got robbed for 100 whatever £1,000 watch, because what they're basically saying is, right, that brother shouldn't have that. Like, why does he have this? Do you know what I mean? So the odd dickhead can be like, oh, what, 150 grand watch? Do you know what I mean? But the NHS is still working and this, that, and the other. Bruv, shut up. It's got nothing to do with it.
But that's
so what, man deserves to get robbed?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it should be about. Do you know what I mean? Why does it matter how much the watch was worth, bro? Even if man got robbed for fucking a £10 fucking, like, box of fucking fruit juice or whatever, bro, like, man still got robbed. Do you know what I mean? If man got held at knife point and got robbed, that should be what the conversation's about, not how much it was worth and what they took. It don't matter.
Yeah. But you know in the UK, like I think I've even said before, like, the difference between the UK and the US has like a massive
race problem in it.
Like, but in the UK, obviously they have a race problem, but it's class. It's mainly a class problem. Do you know what I'm saying? And people separate others into classes. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you're above your if you're acting like you're above your class, yeah, people like to just peg you down. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or just kind of remind people that this person's overpaid or this person shouldn't be where we're sitting. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's it. They do that subtly with all of these words. Like I said, how much they earn. Like, I know we spoke about it last week, but it just makes no sense. It's like, I've never ever, unless I've looked for it personally, I've never seen this is how much this actor got paid for this film. You don't see it. It's not spoken about.
You have to actually look for it though.
Properly.
Do you know what I mean? You have to really look and see how much these actors get paid for these films. And even then, that doesn't take into account, like, for instance, look at the amount of times they might say this film's grossed XYZ. But we don't know how much each individual actor got paid really.
100%.
We don't really know. Do you know what I'm saying? And if we do want to find out, we have to dig. But with footballers, bruv, you just type it in Google and their wages are just there.
Mad.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why can't we do that with everyone then? Do you know what I'm saying? Why don't we say, bam, like, how much does Gary Neville get paid by Sky? Why don't you tell us? You know what I mean? Why don't we have Jamie Carragher's salary there? Why don't we have all of their salaries?
Undisclosed.
Yeah. Bruv, why don't all these man salaries, why didn't it all out there?
I remember when the BBC ones came out, it was a bit mad.
Bruv, when I saw how much Chris Evans get paid, I was like, bruv, I didn't even know that Brer was still in media. Man done the big breakfast thing, never seen this brother again.
Yeah.
And this Brer was on something like 5 million a year or something to be on like Radio 4 or something like that, bro. Radio 4. This is what all these men are getting, and they're all like upper middle class white males, bruv, that are making all these peas, bro. So when they see a little 19-year-old black youth, that's on 100 bags a week, bro, they're raging, cuz. That's just what it is, because no one's saying, right, Chris Evans is overpaid, bro. I mean, he ain't more talented than these, man. He just speaks into a microphone.
Straight.
You know, like that. And that's just what it is, bro. So, like, when I look at the whole scenario, like, it's embarrassing, bro. It's absolutely embarrassing, and it's definitely a class thing as well as a race thing. And that's the thing. The class system in this country gets overlooked way too much. The media, and even the old media versus new media thing is a class thing as well. It's a snobbery thing. Because it's like, we've got this backing, we're a radio station, this, that, and the other. But, bruv, you man need us. Because new media is kicking your fucking ass, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's how real it is, bro. But they don't want to give you your show, but they'll bring you on as a guest because they're like, you know what, stay in your box, innit? You're new media. You're new media. You're not a real journalist. Do you know what I mean? But, bruv,
that real journalist line is just dumb.
It's the little man thing. It's like, you could come on our shows, but you can never have one of your own. You know what I mean? Because, like, we're the big dogs. Like, you're the little boys. But our numbers say that we're better than you, though. Like, that's what our numbers say, bro. We got the same analytics as you, blood. Like, what you man doing?
Then they ask, who do you write for? And you're like, you don't write.
Who do you write for? So, bro, I don't write shit. You know them ones, but I can show you the views. You know them ones. Man don't read newspapers no more, so it don't matter who you write for. You know, like that. I might as well be writing in a journal at home. The same amount of people will see it. You know, like that.
But that's because controls change now, isn't it? And the fact is, 30 years ago, they had ultimate control to what your mind felt. So the night before, the morning after, so to speak, if there was a news story, them red top newspapers that ran most of the lower class British population, full stop. Yeah, they could direct a particular type of narrative, and that's it. They've got your minds warped. You ain't got nowhere else to find that information. There's no internet. Where else are you going for the information? Bill across the street. You don't even get the same paper that you've read.
But this is it, bro.
That's it.
But this is it. They were controlling the narrative, and now these men are online, asking you to subscribe, and donate money to these newspapers to keep them running, bro. They're not even fishing chip paper no more, bruv. They're not, man ain't even eating food out of your newspapers no more. No one cares, bruv. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So, like, it's the same thing. That's a class thing. The old media and the new media thing. Like, all of it is class. Like, all the crap here that AFTV were getting, that United Stand were getting, it's a class thing. Because when TalkSport are like, oh, call in and have a rant about your team that's just lost, nobody cared. But then as soon as we started doing fan cams,
which has been going on for decades, by the way, as well.
Decades. And then as soon as we do fan cams and give fans a real voice, that's not really, we're not hanging up on anyone mid-call because they've said something out of hand or whatever. We're letting people actually say what they feel. And we're getting second-hand money because YouTube don't pay us. We get ad revenue in it. So YouTube don't actually pay us. So we get paid for advertising, which is, when you think about all the hours and hours of work that we put in, is peanuts, bruv. What we make compared to what we should be making. Do you know what I'm saying?
You hit the nail on the head. You said, bro, them phone-ins is the equivalent, is just like an old school version of video fan cams. Do you know what I'm saying?
And they were charging £2.50 a minute, them calling things. Remember them hotlines, how much you pay to get on them?
Trust me. And then you're still getting cut off.
And then man are going to games, being an actual fan. A lot of these men that you're talking to don't support your club. They haven't been to the game. They weren't inside. They don't know what's happened. They haven't even watched the game because they're in the radio station. And we've sat in there with you, watched the game, and we've come out and we're vexed like you, and we've given you a platform. And then we've got other fans that are ignorant, trying to talk down to us and talk down to what we're doing, and then they'll call into MUTV and get hung up on because they wanna talk about fuck the Glazers, but they're not allowed. But you're allowed on our channel. Do you see what I'm saying? But then because you're so ignorant, you're out here singing and that, like them man was singing to AFTV saying, all right, like whatever, get out of our club and that, bro. That's the best thing to happen to your damn club, bro. Do you know what I mean? Your team, do you think that Arsenal would have ever started spending money if they didn't have AFTV and people like that, bro?
No chance. No chance. But then again, this is what I'm saying. This circles back to even what we've been talking about today, is about people who stand for nothing, or even worse, people who stand for something, but then they don't say anything because they're scared. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that sums up the British. It sums up a lot of people in Britain. Do you know what I'm saying? Where you have an opinion or a strong view, but you ain't telling no one it. Do you know what I mean? You're too worried. Do you know what I'm saying? So do you know what I'm saying? You'll dance around that view for months, years, or you'll never even say it. Do you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to it, if you're talking to your mate, oh yeah, I hate the way this club's being run. Do you know what I'm saying? But would you say it out loud? No. Do you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't say it out loud. And that means, but then you'll still complain that nothing's changed. Yeah,
but how do you expect it to change if you're not vocal with it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
because you think Stan Kroenke's gonna walk in and around Emirates and try and listen to all the whispers that's going on? No,
don't care.
You need to do something so big for man to even bother. Bro, the man don't even turn up to games. He don't even come.
But you think he's gonna give, like, he's gonna, bruv, the reason why he knows, and what was the other owner that left Arsenal that was there that they hated? Gazidis or something?
Gazidis, yeah.
Do you honestly think if not for AFTV that man wouldn't still be there milking them?
Exactly.
You know, them ones that don't think that the pressure that these men put on them didn't influence man's decision to leave, because it did. You can't tell me that the stuff that we're doing doesn't influence the club, because it does, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me that Ed Woodward and them man know. I know for a fact that Manchester United know who I am. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I've stuck it on the club so much, I know that they know who I am, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because people talk. You know what I mean? When people are doing little things here and there, and there's little collabs that you can do, I know full well that United know who I am and they know what I'm about, bro.
But like I said, even that point is like, and especially with what we do, but especially with what you're talking about with Man United, a lot of the time, bro, a lot of fans that or people of influence are PC, they're too PC, so they wouldn't even criticize Man United because
they want to work with Man United. They want to work,
because one day you want to work with them, and then they're gonna. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, end of the day, it's like, obviously we had, for example, I remember even me having a situation years ago, with when we were working with Crystal Palace. Do you know what I'm saying? And we made a joke about Roy Hodgson. Do you know what I'm saying? Being an owl. Do you know what I'm saying? Making a joke. Do you know what I'm saying? They pulled it back and they said, "Oh no, you have to retract that, or we can't work with you." Do you know what I'm saying? And then today it's like, bro, it was the banner that fit the moment. It's not like we're criticizing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not a cuss. So we just moved on to. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to just stand by what you said and what you've done. That's it. But the thing is, if you go down the other path, which many people do, fine, nothing wrong with it. You go down the path of not criticizing anything that you potentially want to work with, which, by the way, is almost everything.
Yeah.
In this content space. So then what happens is you end up being very PC. So you end up not criticizing any club, no player, because you think, oh, I might work with that player one day. So let me not say anything. You don't, do you know what I'm saying? I might work with Andres Pereira in a couple of years. So let me not say anything about him now. Oh, he's a great player. And don't get twisted. People do that. Let's keep it 100. That's what people do. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is fine. I get it. Do you know what I'm saying? But that is where you've got to part across the line of opinion. You've got to realize that some people are being completely straight and direct in it all the time, 100%, which is what Rants is doing. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is why I respect it, because it's not all about thinking about an interview 2 years in advance.
That's what I mean. Potential opportunities and that, bro. I don't want to work with Manchester United. I have no interest in it, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm none. Do you know what I mean? Even if they offered me a job, I wouldn't take it, bro. Like someone the other day, they were advertising like 100K job or something for someone to work in the social media. I can't think anything worse than working for Manchester United and not being able to say what I really think, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, do you know what I mean, would be like, you know what, I could get a gig on MUTV, so I'm not gonna say this, I'm not gonna say, but fuck all of that, bro. Do you know what I mean? Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to stay true to myself and how I feel in it. I say how I feel. Every time I say how I feel, it's how I feel at the time. Yes, that can change, but I always say how I feel. Do you know what I mean? And not a lot of men out there in our space can say that, bro. Do you know what I mean? Them man want to tread the PC line. Do you know what I'm saying? Just in case, bro. Fuck all of that. Do you know what I'm saying? And big up, over 300 people watching as well. Make sure you smash the like button on there, guys, bro. You lot, fucking hell, quite a few of you lot on here, bro. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Bundesliga, fam. Bundesliga's back.
Bundesliga.
How did you feel about football? Because them man had us waiting, all this time for the football. And I can't lie, me personally, I've been extremely underwhelmed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mad one, isn't it? It's like, I remember locking in to football on Saturday afternoon, innit? And I was like, obviously, without messaging some of my group chats and just even just checking on the timeline and that, you can just tell that a lot of football fans that have been waiting 3 or 4 months for football to come back weren't even tuning into Bundesliga, innit? That's what made me laugh, innit? So I was just like, bro, people have been waiting months for football this much, and then when it comes back, bare people aren't even watching it, innit? And my opinion when I watched it was like, it's good to see football back in it. It's good to see that the game. What I was most happy about was more the fact that they managed to start and finish a bunch of games without any problems, and that shows that football, for all of our sake, is on its way back in some shape or form in the next couple of weeks or months. That was what I'm most happy about, innit? In terms of the atmosphere and all the stupidness with the separation on the subs bench, nonsense. Nonsense. And all that is goes back to what I was saying before. It's role models again. They're doing it so the little kids watching it says, "Hey, daddy, they're doing social distancing." That's it. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what it's for. Is role model thing again, because from common sense and logic, they're gonna go back inside in their changing room and they're all gonna hug each other and just chill. When the cameras are off. Let's keep it 100, innit? Yeah. But in terms of the quality of the games, I watched 2. I wouldn't say any of the qualities. I don't think the quality was that good, to be honest. All I got to say is I'm happy for it to come back in it. But I weren't excited watching the games, innit? The games weren't good. They weren't.
They weren't like training matches. And you know what's funny? If you watch the Bundesliga, usually you'd realize that the intensity is never much more than it was then anyway, bro. Like it's not a high-paced league, bro. Like it's not. A lot of people that don't watch continental football, they were like, oh, this is boring. Like it's just because the players aren't fit. This is what their football looks like anyway. Do you know what I mean? And you can tell a lot of fans only watch the Premier League.
100%.
That's how they speak about it, bro. The Bundesliga is not exciting, bro. Like in terms of the scoreline and how many teams there are that could potentially finish in Europe is exciting because it's competitive. But it's not exciting to watch.
The big difference,
the Premier League is the only league.
competitiveness. 100%. You're right.
Yeah.
Big difference in that.
Yeah. But in terms of actually to watch a game, bro, like if you watch like flipping Schalke versus Union Berlin or something, bro, the game's gonna be whack. It's gonna be whack, bro.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be as exciting as watching like Everton v Sunderland or something like that, bro. Because
100%.
the tempo of the Premier League makes the football just more appealing on the eye. That's the reason why the Premier League's television rights package is so ridiculous compared to everyone else. The reason why they haven't scrapped the Premier League is because the TV money at stake, I think the Premier League make over 10 times more than, they said that the Premier League's TV rights were more than Germany, France, Italy, and all of that, Spain combined, bro.
Bro, not even just that. Even the Championship is higher than some of them European leagues.
There you go.
And Championship, and by the way, Championship football is even better than some of these leagues in terms of quality.
Yeah, the quality of game.
Yeah, what I will say, I think, yeah, you're right. Like, I think Bundesliga and alongside the Serie A, unless it's a big game, a lot of those matches are dead food. Yeah, La Liga is the only league that has got the excitement and tempo on some of the games where you can watch a random mid-table game in La Liga and it is exciting. Do you know what I mean? But Bundesliga, where Bundesliga's got the one thing that makes people what can make Bundesliga exciting is the fact that this season, like you said, the title race and the opportunities for Europe
wide open.
Because to be honest, this season, besides maybe Serie A, kind of, all the French league, the Dutch league, like obviously the English league, most of these leagues, the title race was done and dusted. Obviously,
wrapped up by Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, wrapped up. Do you know what I'm saying? So, end of the day, German league's been the one league this season that's really been okay. Well, we don't really know who's going to win. I don't watch anything more than 3 to 5 minute highlights a week on the Bundesliga, innit? If I'm keeping it 100, do you know what I'm saying? I don't watch anything more than that. But one thing I do know is it's unpredictable to that point. But am I excited? It's back in general. Bundesliga don't excite me, innit? But I am happy. Look, end of the day, besides Serie A or La Liga, or obviously any English league, that would be the next league I'll choose, innit? Because if we're watching French league, that would be even worse. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, no one wants to see PSG clap up a team 4-5-0 every week, innit?
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
True. That's what I mean. So with the Bundesliga, and again, that comes back to what we were saying about like the LVG and stuff like that. Because a lot of these people don't watch football outside of the UK. They don't understand that stylistically, bro, like this football's not that entertaining. It's never gonna be. Do you know what I mean? But it's very efficient, it's very effective, and that's why these teams do very well in Europe against English teams. Do you know what I mean? We might think it's boring to watch, bruv, but then when we play them in the Champions League and we can't get the ball from them, like, man, another thing that I reminded me of Sir Alex Ferguson, when everyone was talking about tactics and that. Remember when we played Bilbao, bruv? And they absolutely rasped, man, bruv. You know what I'm saying? And that's a team in Spain. Man will think, Bilbao, Man United will deal with them. We have nothing for them. We have no response for them. You know, they clotted us, bro. And if we watch Bilbao week in, week out, we'd be like, this is boring. Wasn't boring when they were rassing us all over the place, though.
Trust
you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, bro. It's different cultures, it's different styles of football. There's no correct way to play football. But the bottom line is, bro, like, entertainment is one thing, yeah. But as you said, like, when you're winning, it's entertaining, bruv. Do you know what I mean? If all them 0-0s that we had on the LVG when we were keeping the ball, yeah, if those turned into 1-0s, no one would have been saying that this is boring. People would have been saying, right, teams can't get near us. 60% possession every week.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And LVG finished with the best, I think the most clean sheets. Like, we've not had more clean sheets in the season under any other manager. And he wasn't a defensive.
Rants is fully on the LVG agenda today, boy.
Nah, because I remember the clean sheets thing as well, bro. And he's not even a defensive manager. But my thing is that even when people play against me, like on Pez and that, and like, I like to keep the ball in it. And people are like, oh, right, you're always keeping the ball. But, bruv, if you've got the ball, the other team can't score. That's why I don't like.
Is that the way you play, yeah?
Yeah. Bro, I'm a possession guy, bro. I don't play silly passes, bro. Like, I keep the ball in it, bro. No matter where you are on the pitch.
1-2 going, and that's it. and then you
bruv,
hold it.
No, but bruv, I might slap a man 4-0, but at the end of the game, I've had 70% possession and you've just been chasing shadows, bro. I like to move the ball. If there's not a clear route to go, I'll recycle possession and I'll go again, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, yeah, if you've got the ball, the other team can't score. That's why counter-attacking football is risky, bro. Because if you sit back against a team and they score, you can't then decide that you're going to attack now because your players and their mentality is to defend.
Not just that as well. With counter-attacking football, you've got to be so clinical. Like every pass has got to be inch perfect. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you have so little of the ball. When you do have the ball, you got to make that pass count. And when you have that shot on goal, that one shot every 20 minutes, you've got to score. Do you know what I'm saying? Or you got to get it on target at least. So in one way, it's mad risky. The other way, I heavily respect teams that manage to pull it off properly, like Wolves, like we've been talking about, innit?
But then you have to have the quality to make the few chances tell.
100%.
You see what I'm saying? When you don't have the quality, you can't be playing counter-attacking football. And that was my biggest criticism on United. Like, we didn't have the quality and depth, to be limiting ourselves naturally to 2 or 3 chances a game.
No, but that's what got me, like that period of time. And it's like, when we did get the ball, and it's like, who are we giving the ball to even find a pass? We don't have anyone who can split the defense. Obviously, this is when Pogba was not in the team. You know what I'm saying?
And before Bruno came in.
Exactly, before Bruno and when Pogba wasn't in the team. Who's splitting the pass?
No.
We looked at Pereira. We looked at Andres. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? We look to him to be that guy who's going to make that pass. That's it. It's not happening.
And this is the problem, and that's why your style of football should be dictated by the players you have at your disposal. 100%. You see what I'm saying? And that's why when LVG looked at it and said, right, I'm going to go 3 at the back because I don't have a back 4 that I can trust, there was a method to that. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get these guys to keep the ball because defensively, actually, we don't have good enough players like in terms of talent. So I'm going to make us very hard to beat. We're going to keep the ball. Do you know what I mean? And that's just what it is, bro. Like in football, there's different ways. There's different ways to do things. But ultimately, possession is king, bro. Like that's why they say possession is 9/10 of the fucking law, bro. Because if I've got the ball, I'm in control of what happens next. If the other team have the ball, I'm not in control of what happens next. My man could put it in the top corner from 30 yards.
100%.
Even if I think I've got it under control, do I?
No.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because I don't have the ball. And this is the thing. And that's why I think that if your team don't have the flipping ball, bruv, like you can say you'll do whatever you want. Counter-attacking is nice, but bruv, I'll take having the ball over not having the ball every single time.
100%. And you know, with that, even because I know we've been talking about Bundesliga as well.
Yeah.
Someone even put a good point or a good question even.
Yeah.
I'll elaborate on a little bit more. Like, what do you think if there was like a Super League in it?
Yeah.
So, we're saying obviously. In fact, let me not even say Super League. If Bayern, Dortmund, Inter, Juve, PSG, Celtic, if all of these teams came into the Premier League now, where do you think that these men will finish? Like, do you think that there will be title contenders? You feel they will be struggling? Because I remember having this conversation a couple of months ago, and people said even the likes of Dortmund would be mid-table in the Premier League, which I think's nuts, isn't it? But
you know what? No, but you think it's nuts, but I don't know, bruv. Because you know what it is with Dortmund, we only see them play against English teams in one-off games, in the Champions League when they can semi-prepare for teams and stuff like that. But honestly, I think that the teams like your Sheffield Uniteds, like your like them kind of teams.
What do you think about Celtic then? Where are they finishing?
Celtic are getting relegated, blood.
Oh, man, I'm thinking
No, they're not getting relegated. But if Celtic are in England,
they won the FPL 10 times in a row.
I don't think Celtic are better than Everton and them teams there. I don't. I think that Celtic will finish in the bottom half of the table.
For real?
Yeah, they're not better than Wolves. They're not, bruv. Wolves would smoke Celtic, bruv. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, they're finishing 10th at best. They're not better than any of the teams up there, bro. If you think that, look, United, Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea. Did I say Arsenal already?
He said Arsenal already. Yeah.
Wolves, Everton. That's already 7-8 teams we're looking at already. That would smash them. And I'm sure there's other teams that I've missed out. Do you know what I mean? Sheffield United probably do them as well. Sheffield United probably do them, bruv.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? They're finishing on the bottom half of the table.
That's what I'm saying, because I remember about 10 years ago, when the talk was even mild in it about this whole bringing, they were going to bring Celtic and Rangers to the Premier League, innit?
Yeah, I'm just getting my charger, but I can still hear you.
Yeah. I remember the talk being if Celtic and Rangers went to the Premier League, they're finishing top 4, innit? And I was thinking, even at that point, back then, I don't think that was even possible still.
Bro, these men are not that good, bro. I can tell you, yeah. Like, how old was I then? This would have been about 6 years ago now. I went to Kilmarnock and I went to Motherwell, yeah. Like on trial, yeah, bro. Honestly, the football there is shambolic, bro. Like, honestly, yeah. Like, I remember in my child match, yeah, I bagged as well, yeah. But fam, I've never been kicked so much in my life, bro.
Is that the way they play, yeah?
Bro, it's physical. If you think English football is physical, bro, Scotland's another level, bro. Like, if you saw, bro, I got booted all over the place. I think I played against Inverness and I played against like another team like East Fife or something. And bro, I got clarted all over the place, bro. When I tell you, I've never been kicked so much in my life, bro. But
even worse as well when you're getting clarted in the cold as well.
In the cold, bro. And I'm someone who only really wears molds as well, like, and it rains bare over there. So I was getting kicked at that. And bro, I remember, yeah, like some of the teams towards the bottom of the SPL were part-time. They weren't even full-time, bro. Like they were training twice a week. They were semi-pro. Do you know what I mean? In a big SPL. So like you think that like these teams are good, but the teams that Celtic and them man are playing against are like the equivalent of playing against conference teams in England. The standard's not very high in the SPL, bro. Like if Scotland, these men are used to playing dead ballers every week. If they came to the Premier League, they're not finishing in the top half of the table. I'm 99% certain of that. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's why you can tell Celtic in Europe, they can just about get out of the group phase. If that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Bro, sometimes Celtic and that ain't better than, they're not better than a lot of these like Swedish teams and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not that good. They're not that good, bro. Like Celtic's level.
But that domination in the league is what's causing, boy, I don't know, man.
I think they'll get a massive reality shock if they came and they played against the Premier League level guys. They're getting rasped, bro. Do you know what I mean? Proper rasped, bro. Them and Rangers. That's why you've got guys like Chris Commons. Was he at Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, what's the other guy as well? Scott Sinclair and that.
Yeah, Scott Sinclair went from being fair enough, like he was at Swansea and he was doing all right. But bruv, Chris Commons was playing in the Championship, and he went from playing in the Championship, not being particularly big, not being particularly fast, not being particularly great at anything, and went to Celtic and was just dominating that league, bro.
Right, he scored like 35 goals a year, innit?
That tells you all you need to know. When man are going from the Championship and dominating the SPL, that tells you the level of that league. Do you know what I mean? Man don't rate that league, innit, bro? Like firsthand, I've witnessed like the level of that league is nothing, bro. Do you know what I mean?
What's the league you rate the most after the Premier League then? Is it La Liga more than Serie A?
It depends, because I actually prefer to watch Serie A, because Serie A is more the kind of football I like, bro. Like because the physicality hasn't really left it. You know them one. Like it's possession, it's tactical, but also it's physical as well. Like the Spanish league's not physical at all, bro. Like man are getting booked for dumb challenges. Man are winning the ball and getting booked and that. Like I don't like that. Do you know what I mean? As much as I like good football, yeah, and good technical football, but I like a bit of physicality, bro. Because at the end of the day, they're always going around saying our football's a men's game and that, but then man are not allowed to tackle. Do you know what I mean? So I do.
Well, boy, because of coronavirus, you might not see any proper tackles for a long time still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I do like the physicality of Italian football to go with the technical level. Do you know what I mean? Like in Italy, from top to bottom, you're playing against a relegation team. These men are teched off. Do you know what I'm saying? So I do like Serie A, but to be fair, I rate all the leagues, but I rate them for different reasons. I think that Italian league.
What do you rate the French league for?
To be fair, the French league, though, when you look at a lot of the players that the French league produces, you can't argue with these men, bro.
That's true.
And also, what's good about the French league is physical enough that you could come to England and hold your own, but it's technical enough that you could go anywhere around the world and play. I think that the French league probably lends the best to being able to go and play anywhere. Do you know what I mean? We've seen loads of men leave that German league. Like, look at Mkhitaryan. He was a world beater there. Came to England and looked shit. He looked completely crap. Whereas I don't know too many men that have left the French league, come to England that haven't been able to hack it, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones. I just think that the French league translates well to football in general because it's got enough. It's got enough tempo to it. It's not as slow as the Italian or the Spanish league, and because they've got a lot of African players there as well, the tempo is a bit higher. Do you know what I mean? So it's closer to the Premier League in tempo and in physicality, and technically. Like, them guys can bop a bit, so you can go Germany, you can go Spain, you can go wherever. So I just think that the French league all round is probably the closest thing to the Premier League in terms of the way the football's played, but not the level. Do you see what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I think the French league, yeah, they call it a farmers league and that, but honestly, before PSG had all that money, the French league, there wasn't one team that was dominating the French league.
Yeah, man, and it's a shame because, like, when you look at, obviously this will never happen.
You had Marseille,
Lyon. Yeah, Lille had a good year about 10 years ago. Obviously, that's when Hazard.
Yeah, you had Lyon, Marseille, PSG. Do you know what I mean? Monaco as well. Like, teams were kind of, it was competitive. It was competitive before Monaco's money and PSG's money. It was.
But you know what? I do think there's got to be, I don't know, man. I think in some of these leagues, like the French league, I wouldn't say I was going to say Italian league before this year, but now I think Lazio, Napoli, and Inter will start challenging. Yeah, but the Scottish league and the French league, for example, they've got to do something about this gap between the number one team, Celtic and PSG, and everyone else. I don't know how they can do it, but I think they're losing fans because I think if you were a Scottish passive football fan, you'll stop watching SPL.
Yeah.
What's the point? What's the point? Like, Celtic every year. And look, don't get twisted. Rangers are coming back now, slowly, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? But the speed of them coming back, they can't hack it. They only hacked it for half the year. Then they got blown away again by Celtic. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So much so, that's why no one in Scotland even complained about them winning the league this year and winning it early, which, by the way, happened last week. That's this week's news as well. Yeah. Them giving the league to Celtic. No one's even complaining. Same with the French league. No one complained about PSG taking the league again.
It's a foregone conclusion every year.
Foregone conclusion is like it happens every year, and they got to do something about that because it's losing fans for no reason. Because I used to watch the French league. Do you know what I'm saying? Before that dominance. Do you know what I'm saying? And now the same with Serie A. I've only started picking it up again because now it's competitive again. Up there, up top. Before what? You got Juve winning it 7 years in a row or something. Come on, man. It's mad.
That's the thing. Even United in their prime dominance in our lifetime, never won the league, more than 3 times back to back.
Exactly. Like,
the
way these teams are winning it as well, bro. PSG was winning it by 30 points, like
year on year. Teams, I think Juventus, I think they had it wrapped up like almost by Christmas or something like that.
You know what I'm saying? It's stupid.
Yeah, man, don't want to watch that.
But I don't know what they could do. But they got to think of something.
Unless some of the other teams get, you know what it is. Also, it's the distribution of the television money. That's what it is. The Premier League is more evenly distributed, which is why teams like Everton could slap 30 odd million on Lukaku. I think they paid. Watford turned down 50 million bid for a Gaal. Like, Everton turned down 90 million for Richarlison. They can do that because of the money that's coming in from the TV. Whereas if you're like a Real Sociedad and that, you can't turn down an 80 million bid for any player, even if it's your best player.
And that's the problem. Like the whole team. But the thing is that it all goes around. It's like the players, the teams like Celtic or PSG talking about the Scottish and the French league. They demand the most because that's what people want to watch. People only want to watch them clubs because they've ingrained it into their system. Whereas the UK of the Championship of the Premier League are smart. That's the reason why they distribute these TV rights where you have a Super Sunday Norwich versus Newcastle. They force it. They force it, so you have to watch all of these teams. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And do you know what I mean? You better enjoy it. Always coming back around on Monday Night Football in a couple of weeks. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas SPL and all these other leagues, bro, if PSG is not involved, most of the time it ain't televised.
Yeah, it's not televised. Yeah, it's the same with Scotland, isn't it? It's always Celtic versus someone or Rangers versus someone.
Bro, that's why Rangers coming back in that league is a godsend for them.
Yeah,
but for everyone in Scotland, because they know that Rangers is another team, the only other team that can bring that pull. Do you know what I'm saying? That buzz. And hopefully for both of them leagues, we're going to see Rangers challenging. Do you know what I'm saying? And we're going to see, obviously, I don't even know who's going to challenge PSG because all them teams are way off.
Monaco's the only team that potentially could, bro. But the thing is with Monaco, they lost too many players, though. Like when man think that Monaco lost, they lost Falcao, like they had Berbatov, lost him, they lost Mbappe, bro. They lost
Elements.
Who's the left back as well at thingy Mendy. They lost Fabinho. They lost for Bernardo Silva, bro. They lost the whole team. Do you know what I mean? They lost the whole team, bro.
Then they sacked the manager that building them up. Do you know what I'm saying?
How can you sack a manager after losing his whole team? You shouldn't have sold these players.
They brought in Henry, and
they lost Semedo as well from that team. They lost the whole team, bro. They lost their whole team, bro. Literally, they lost Bakayoko to Chelsea. They literally lost their whole team, bro. Do you know what I mean? Or else they would have definitely have challenged, if not won a league by now with them, man. If they kept all them, man, they probably would have won the league. Do you see what I mean? So
again, it all goes back round. It's money because Monaco couldn't survive without getting rid of them. They had to get rid of them. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the problem.
And if they were getting more money from the TV rights, maybe they wouldn't have had to sell these, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's just a revolving door at the minute. So I don't know. I don't know when it's ever gonna be competitive or what they can do, bruv. You lot can always let us know as well in the comments, bruv. What do you think are remedies for these situations? Because off the top of my head, unless these teams get taken over, I can't see how PSG's dominance gets broken unless the owners get bored one day and just decide to leave. And I doubt that's gonna happen, bro. So I couldn't flipping tell you, bro.
For real.
I couldn't tell you, man. But yeah, man, we'll wrap it up there, bro. Like again, that flew, bro. Another great show, bro. Over 300, we got 320 people watching live now. Make sure you lot smash the like button while you're there. At socials as well. His at's at the bottom of the screen as well.
Man. See it. Simple. So the at's there, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that with mine. That's a good idea, bro.
Man.
In case someone crops our shit and puts it online, which they probably will. Do you know what I mean?
For real,
just end up on Instagram or something. So like that, bro. So yeah, make sure you follow Ak. Yeah, I've got his all of his details in the comments. Well, in the description anyway. His social, so you can click and go follow that up, man. And yeah, we'll be doing this weekly anyway.
Yes, bro. I mean,
so yeah, nice, just look out, bro. Same time, same place, and that. Obviously, you lot know my at as well. And yeah, bro. Like clearly, you lot are enjoying this. Like a few people messaged me before and saying they were looking forward to it. And over 300 people watching now in the middle of the day is wavy, bro. So big up everyone that tuned in, man.
Yes,
man. Yeah, we're gonna catch up with you lot again soon. And yeah, bless for watching.
Love.